Hi, how's it going? I'm Marlene. Thanks for wandering by. So, a new location for me, and I feel a little bit weird about it, but like the light coming in through this window is gorgeous, and you're kind of seeing my some of the stuff in the background, Hilo, in my family room. Anyway, today what I wanted to do, just really quick, I say really quick, I don't know how long I'll be, is to talk to you about how I'm working with the Decans this go around. So, last year, well, from 2023 into 2024, from March 2023 into March 2024, I did a Decan Walk. Basically, I brought you along my learning journey through the zodiacal wheel of the year, where I was learning the correspondences between astrology and tarot based on Western astrology and the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. I'm laughing saying that because that was like my little spiel every time I did a video. So I have a Decan wheel that I've finished. So I can show it to you what it looks like without like having to pop up a like special one on the screen. So I have this, the Great Workbook from Numinous Press. And I'll leave links to where you can get this down below if you're interested. But this is a Decan wheel. Ooh, am I going to be able to do this without? Yeah. So this is a full Decan wheel. I'm pulling it close so you guys can see. I filled out my entire wheel of the year. So basically, a decan is one part of a zodiac sign that corresponds to, oh my god, I'm afraid I'm gonna like ruin this. Okay, that corresponds to a minor card in the tarot. So I went through all 36 of them last year into this year and talked about the associations between the astrology and the tarot. And the year that I spent doing it was really a learning journey for me, and it was very much about kind of getting to know the minor cards in a new and different way and learning astrology. So it was really kind of like scratching the surface of learning astrology and also getting to know the minor cards. So the actual, I don't know, I guess practice or mystical or magical like properties, or I don't know of I don't know what's the noun I want to use, mystical magical properties or mystical magical like nuances of the decans. It didn't really like hit home until now. Like now I'm doing this again, and I'm not studying so much as I am like living in the Decan, and I'm paying attention to what I've learned and kind of figuring out how I feel about that, the time period, because a decan spans 10 days or 10 degrees. And so I've been following along the decan wheel and changing out my cards. So I've been using, sorry if I'm kind of everywhere, I've been using the Rorig Tarot, which is this guy. And I've shown it before on my channel. It's like this awesome surrealistic artwork from Carl, I think it's Carl, yeah, Carl Rorig. This is available. These are big cards though. I love I love it's like, boobies. That's not the only reason why I like it. But it's got, this like surrealistic landscape. I love the color palette of this deck. Anyway, so this is the one that I've been using on my Decan altar. So like currently we are in the zodiac sign of Gemini, which is my birth, my sun sign, sorry. And so we are currently in my birth decan, which is the Eight of Swords. So that's the Eight of Swords interference. And then, so it's Gemini, Jupiter and Gemini. So you have the Gemini card, and then you have the Wheel of Fortune is the Jupiter card. So this is what I have out on my, my Decan altar. So that's something that I've been doing. And I've been paying more attention to, like, over the course of these 10 days, not just like the study of, well, what does this mean, Jupiter and Gemini, but more like, how does this feel and what is this really about? And so one of the things I did first was I got this book, which I've shown you guys. I think I showed it before, but this is T. Susan Chang's latest, and it's not available. I think it's only available on Numinous Press. I'll leave links for it down below, but it is it's kind of like, I feel like her evolution with working with the Decans too, like after having written her book and worked like a couple years really, really closely following the Decan wheel. I think this is, you know, what came about is that she wrote poetry. And I mean, like, okay, I love it. I eventually think I want to do something like this too, write poetry for the Decans. So like, let me go to Gemini 1, which is what we're in right now, and I'll show you. So she has some artwork. I think this is, I'm not sure if it's AI. I don't know how she created the art, but then she wrote a poem, and it's like, it's very, it's poetic. I mean, there, and it has rhyme and meter. It seems like kind of like pragmatic in the way that I love that Susan Chang is, T. Susan Chang is, and but it's beautiful, and it really does like tie together the Waitsmith and the Thoth and what I remember, you know, listening to her, the Fortune's Wheelhouse podcast, and reading her books, because now I feel like I understand like a body of work of T. Susan Chang. And because the 36 Secrets book is the one that we used for the whole Decan Walk. Anyway, but this is like a new way to kind of commune with the Decans. So it's more like it's more like the way I would work with, say, like deity or something along those lines, like something otherworldly. And that's what I'll say, like, because I mean, deity, I haven't like necessarily wrapped my mind around the idea that the Decans are small gods or demigods, but the ancient astrologers I know did make that kind of like association. So I've been thinking of them as like time nymphs, sort of like these little I don't know, creatures of time, of this 10-day period. And the minor cards for me are so much to do with like the mundane and the everyday, that they feel like they're these like smaller otherworldly kind of beings. I don't know. I mean, you could call them, I said time nymphs because that's just what like makes sense to me, but like minor gods or deity, demigods, angels, demons. I mean, something, for me there is something connected in that space that you can, what is the word that I'm looking for? It's because I don't land on anything really absolutely or solidly, but it's more like activating. And I don't think that you have to only activate it in that 10-day period, but I think like the minor card is something, you know, that you can work with anytime. But I feel like I want to get to know the like spirit or something behind this particular card and what it means, and that like in this time nymph kind of way. And this time I feel like that's what I'm doing, like I'm sitting with that kind of thing throughout the time period. So another book that I got is this one called A Wheel of Small Gods by the poetry is by Brian Wilkins and the art by Brennan Reese. So this was a book that was recommended to me by an astrologer friend, Jessica of Jessica and the Moon. And during my Decan Walk, I talked to Jessica a lot, asked her lots of questions about astrology, and she had recommended this book because the creators of it, It's more like, I mean, I haven't really read through everything, but I'm getting set to do that, and kind of now I just feel sort of like I need to do it now, starting with my birthday Decan. It just seems like the special important one for me to now, even though I've been following the Decans since Aries season, again, to kind of get into just like sitting with like the energy, spirit, I don't know, vibe, deity, whatever it, and wherever it ends up landing as like as a thing for me, you know, this time around. But this particular book, it's definitely calling upon the Decans, and it's definitely like a magical book, that's calling upon the Decans, and kind of connecting them to for health and medicinal and just other things. I don't want to speak with certainty on it, but like I'll show you. So for example, Gemini 1, they have the artwork. So it is a small god, right? So it has the picture of the deity, the small god, and then it has a poem that goes along with it. So poetry, you know, that's for me another place for me to kind of like get involved in this, you know, in this space, in this world, in this time, with this time nymph, with this, you know, little time being, which I think it is. I mean, I'm still, you know, I'm still figuring that stuff out. So another thing that I did too, because, you know, because T. Susan Chang, and her, you know, her partner in the podcast, Fortune's Wheelhouse, that I listened to, oh my God, ages ago, and have listened to again since. I've had the Tabula Mundi tarot for some time, but now I've you know, I've taken it out again, and it's one of the best decks, I think, for Decan work, because it has the Decans on them. I need to also, I've been on the website, but she has like an expansion pack that has the 3 Decans of each zodiac sign, the cards kind of like fused together. So this would be this is the 8 of Wands, so this is Sagittarius, right? So the first Decan of Sagittarius. So then she has the 3 Decans of Sagittarius all fused together into one card, which I think is really cool. These are the backs. I love the backs of this. The whole production value of all of MM Maline's decks is just really, really cool, because I love this like silky, you know, red ribbon. Yeah, I guess it's a ribbon. So I have that, and I've been, you know, so I've been working with Tabula Mundi. I've been working with the Rovrig Tarot. I've been reading this poetry. I've been just thinking, you know, a lot of what I do is just like sit and think about the stuff. And then I've also been working in the Great Workbook. So I showed you that I finished my Decan wheel, my astrology wheel, and then I've finished quite a bit of the astrology section of this. So like I'll show you, I went in and I, you know, I put in all the stuff for like Gemini, and now I'm working with colors, which is a part of its own like study as well, which I'm getting into. But I'm starting with the Decans. So like I'll show you, what did I do? Oh, so like I filled in all these other things in the front. So like I filled in all the Decans. I did this whole thing. Can you guys see? I probably should have done this the other way around, but, and then, oh, another thing, I know, sorry, I'm like super like hyper to talk about this, but I also started doing, paying attention to, on the Decan wheel, the aces and the court cards, which I didn't pay attention to last go around. Sorry, my hair is wild and crazy because I was out at the pool all day yesterday. Anyway, so the aces and the court cards, I'm starting to feel my way around their energy involved in the decans as well. So it's, and with having filled out, doing these exercises really just helps you memorize things. So then I've been following, Numinous Press has a Substack where, and also their Instagram, I'll leave everything down below, where they're going through the decans and doing like decans and color study kind of at the same time. So I've been following that, and I started with Gemini. So here is, and I pretty much just like copied what she did for this activity, and then I've been starting to do the colors myself as well. Like I literally just copied her colors and how she did things. And then I also did the first decan of Gemini, which is what we're in currently, and hopefully we'll still be in by the time I post this. I should be posting this soon though. In the minor cards, yeah. So then I also did the Eight of Swords, which is the first decan of Gemini. So you can see, I got a thing of colored pencils, which my iPad is currently sitting on. But I've been like filling in colors, and then I've been making like my own. Here's a sketchbook that I've been like, making my own colors to put. So colors is going to be its own thing, but it's part of a decan study. So I'm just going little bit by little bit by doing each decan at a time, and starting to fill in the colors, and then adding that back in in the astrology section of the Great Workbook. Because like I've done, let me see, I showed you. Yeah, so I started to do Taurus, like I went back, to kind of go through and do some colors in Taurus, but I don't know. I think I might just keep going forward rather than going back in time, back to Taurus. But I have, a little bit at a time. That's how I feel like, I've been enjoying working with the Great Workbook. And I haven't got it yet, but I'm getting a new astrology deck, and I guess I'll talk about that more when it comes. But really, this is just what I've been doing. This time around, I feel like I've had, yeah, maybe I should plug my own thing too. I've also been on, I guess I'll put it up on the screen somewhere here. Ta-da, my Decan Walk spread book. So this time around, I've been doing my Decan spreads myself, but I haven't really, I sort of shared them. Like I used the Tabula Mundi for the Gemini one, maybe. But I haven't been like making videos on it. It's just been sort of a personal thing that I've been doing. So I made a book, a spread book, with the help of my lovely friend Dawn Michelle. She helped me with the design of everything. I made a Decan Walk spread book that's available for purchase. I'll put the links down below. But there's a spread for every single decan, plus extra spreads like a birthday decan spread and some other fun stuff in there as well. So I've been doing that, but I haven't really been like sharing and making videos on my decan work, because it feels like the first time I did it, it felt like it was something that I was learning, and I was sharing that. And now it's a little bit more internal, a little bit more personal, and a little bit more about like my personal connection with the time nymph, which is what I guess I'm calling them. It feels more like nymphs. It feels more like something that is like some kind of otherworldly being, but I'm not sure if it's a small god or I don't know. And I know that I can find more research into like how ancient astrologers, or even like maybe even like ceremonial magicians, I don't know enough about this to really say, work with these particular with Decan energy. But I think there's offerings made. I think this book is going to give me some insight into those ideas too, about making offerings and working with the particular like healing qualities of these time nymphs, and what I already know from from the tarot, which feels like an entry point to me. Like that tarot card feels like a little bit of an entry point to sit with that kind of energy, and it's just cool. Like it's just neat. I mostly right now I'm not doing like anything like too super active. I'm just thinking a lot, which is something I do. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I've been learning, but this time it feels more personal, and my own like personal connections with the Decans, and it feels like just like a part of, like I call it now my like forever Decans forever forever practice, because it's like now that I've connected with it, it's something that I think and hope will kind of stay with me as part of the way I engage with astrology and tarot. And it's like just a beautiful merger of those two. So yeah, so that's it. That's like my Decan update right now. Like I said, I'll leave links down below for the books that I got, from the great workbook, for my Decan Spread book, and the decks that I was talking about as well. And let me know if I know that there's other Decan Walk video series going on out there. I know some of you are doing your second time around. Some of you have reached out to me as well. So I'd love to hear about how it's going and what you're doing. And if you have questions or if there's anything, more that you want to know about, let me know. And so I can, see about, giving you guys some more insight into how I'm working with the Decans. And that's it. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And I hope that you all have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.